This video is a reposting of a previous video that is already on this channel and was initially posted May 10th, 2019. You can see what I said about Joe Biden's progressions even before he won the Democratic nomination. Here we have Joe Biden's progressions, and the most important factor is the progress sun, progress moon conjunction, which is something that happens every 30 years or so. Therefore, it is deeply significant and is indicative of an important new cycle happening in his life, and it's also approximately coincident with when he declared his run for president. In fact, he waited and waited, and when these two are approximately conjunct is when he declared. I think that's very meaningful. And notice that they're next to the traveling progressed Aquarius ascendant, and that the part of fortune is nearby as well. All of this is very, very positive. Moreover, Aquarius is the sign of the US moon, which is helpful in terms of projecting his image, and having a Sagittarius ascendant at birth, which we know from his natal chart, is also helpful since the US ascendant is Sagittarius as well. So then further factors would be that when you look at a progressed chart, you can also look at it as an independent chart, and the transits do have some effect to this chart, not as much as to the natal chart, but something to take into account. And we notice that with Aquarius rising and all the planets in Aquarius, Jupiter and Saturn will be going through here post the election, and Jupiter in that sense is especially indicative of something very fortunate and powerful happening. You also notice that Mercury, which is the ruler of his natal midheaven zenith, is at 25 degrees Capricorn, and this is where Pluto and Saturn and Jupiter are going to go through. This is, again, a very, very powerful energetic alignment that is going to help him. And now perhaps the most interesting factors are related to looking at where these progressions are at these year points in his life. And you notice that in 2020, Mercury is going to go direct. And if you were to look back, it's been, since 1999, it's been retrograde. And it'll go direct in these degrees. Given that this planet is his zenith midheaven ruler, I would consider that very, very powerful and very important. Stationary moments make planets extremely intense and powerful. Of course, sometimes in a negative way, but I would say that in this case, it's more likely to be positive. Now notice as well that he's had Saturn retrograde his whole life. This shows from 1990, but if you go all the way back to the beginning, in fact, you can see in his original chart here that Saturn is retrograde. So essentially, the whole life it's retrograde, it's retrograding, moving along, and now in 2020, it goes direct. Now, Saturn is the kind of planet that when it comes to assuming responsibility, taking on power, the idea of karma coming together and making something happen, it's a really important planet. And to me, this is another indicator of something extremely important happening in his life around this period. And notice further that Uranus as well, the year after, well, a couple of years, but we're in that range. In 2022, it's going direct. At minimum, it's moving very slowly, and essentially, in the years that we're in, it's already stationary. So those are three really important factors that, to my mind, support a feeling that Biden's chances for becoming president in 2020 are very, very good.